and I have all of these different blending stuff in my freezer that's for that, I just don't do it.
Do you want to?
That's the thing. I just don't do it. Welcome to Platinum Conversations in the Platinum Cafe. Today, we wish to engage you on a journey of enlightenment and hopefully growth that will propel you into higher levels of attainment in the thing that's meaningful to you in your life. Let's go.
I'm your host, Dietrich Jones, here with the magnificent Professor Robert Britt. Sir, how you doing?
Hey man, everything is good. Everything is platinum.
Yes, sir.
It's the platinum way, living a platinum lifestyle and having platinum opportunities to rise to the platinum level.
Another day for platinum opportunities. So, like we always do at this time, we want to start by giving a shout out to our Patreons, aka the Platinum Pack, aka our Platinum Partners. For as little as $5 a month, you can be a Platinum Partner and receive exclusive access to view the live recording of this podcast, a bonus episode every week, discounts on merchandise and tickets to live events, and of course, our unconditional love and appreciation. Go to www.platinumhitter.com to become a member. Subscribe today.
Yes, indeed. I feel you. So yeah, let's record.
But no, I think that we're rolling.
Yeah.
We're rolling. I came in rolling.
Oh, okay.
I came in hot. I wanted to get the atmosphere.
All right.
So yeah, but that rolls right into the conversation about faith, and we have this belief just in ourselves and in our gifts that what we do is maybe not perfect, maybe not where we want it to be right now, but
Right.
it's getting there.
Sure.
And it's that belief in, I guess, ourselves and, in the favor of God, that
Right.
if we continue to do the right thing
Right.
and put in the effort and put in the work, that God's not just going to leave us hanging.
Right.
Not just going to leave us hanging. But
And so, well, let me ask you this, because we're talking about faith and belief, but is that belief or that faith subjective in terms of how you see it? Because if your view is not the same as my view, how do you establish a platinum belief system? And is there a requirement for a communal understanding of what that means and what that represents? Because there are individuals who do not have, or should I say, do not live their lives based on a set of spiritual principles.
That's true.
And what does that say in terms of them being able to adapt and develop a platinum mindset that will give them the tools to live based on a platinum faith?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the questions from last time is, if you're not, the purpose of faith, the purpose of faith and your purpose of your belief system and how that belief functions into your performance and the outcomes that you achieve. Like you said, some people aren't operating off of like a spiritual basis. Some people are strictly operating off of what they were told. Or some people are just motivated by money. Like, if I do this, I'm going to get more money. And not everybody is really thinking in an altruistic way that somehow the universe or God is going to recognize their effort and reward them as such.
Right. Well, and I think that while they are synonymous with one another to a degree, they're not the same thing. And I think so often when we talk about belief and faith, we kind of look at them as being co-equals. And in my perspective, in my view, they're not. They're different. And I think that there are levels of achievement you can accomplish or achieve based on what you believe in. But faith is a higher level, a higher level of thinking, a higher level of awareness about what you're truly capable of. And if we could again use that biblical context or what have you, that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not yet seen. And so what we're saying is that to have faith is based on a body of evidence. And so if you build a succinct and a sustainable body of evidence that prove your theory of faith to be what it is, then you can accomplish greater things because of that faith.
Mhm.
that, and what you believe in can only take you so far. And so it's like it's a higher level of accomplishment, so to speak. And so what you believe in is based on what you're gaining knowledge of, what you're beginning to know and understand. And so, like, if I establish a relationship with you, then I believe that you're my friend.
Mhm.
But until we go through some things, I don't have faith that you're going to be my friend all the long term or what have you.
Gotcha.
And so the nature of the relationships develops, or should I say, dictates how I believe in the nature of our relationship, or I have faith that you're going to be there for me in a time of need. And so though that, so again, there may be parallels to them, but they're separate things.
I'll tell you like this. It's like if you have a chair and you're standing
Mhm.
up in front of the chair, you can believe that the chair is going to support your weight, but until you sit
Right.
down on the chair,
Yes.
you know,
Mhm.
that action of sitting is the action of faith. To me,
Mhm.
that's like the faith is outside of belief.
Yes.
Like if you have belief would be if you have two rings, it'd be like belief is the inner ring, and
Right.
then outside of your belief,
Mhm.
you have this whole universe of faith that you could operate in.
Mhm.
You know, and until you actually take the risk to
Mhm.
unlock your knees
Right.
and
Mhm.
lower your fourth point of contact
Right.
to the seat,
Mhm.
you're not really activating that faith.
Right.
It's just a belief.
Well, what about the idea or the concept of wearing on your faith? Because now there are times when you can overuse faith, so to speak.
Let's
And
talk
so,
about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
and so having that thing, and I'll use the same example that you used in terms of the chair. And so that chair may be able to withstand your weight for 5 years. But because you have not made any adjustments in that 5 years, that weight may not be sustainable beyond that 5 year period. And so that within the 6th year, when you go to sit in that chair, it gives way. Because you still you're basing your actions on an old belief system.
Beliefs.
Exactly. And so, but when we're walking in faith, we have to also do things to fortify that faith to ensure that it's as strong as it used to be.
Yeah, well, faith is action.
Yes.
Faith is actions, and it's going to take you, like the Bible says, faith without works is dead. And if you working, working
Right.
implies like progress. It implies growth and development. Whether it's forward progress or backwards progress is kind of besides the point. If you maintain in your faith and it's growing, your faith is supposed to grow. It's not supposed to be stagnant. Like,
Sure.
beliefs don't necessarily change. You can change your beliefs, but they're pretty static.
Right.
Your faith in something can become larger, it can be smaller, it can be strong at times, it can be weak at times.
Right.
And so it's like this thing, you have to care for it, you have to feed it. You can't just let it sit. It's like a bank account. If you're not putting money in your bank account, you're taking money out. There's only two options, and if you're letting it sit in there, it's depreciating anyway because of inflation or whatnot. So, that's how faith is, like a muscle.
Sure.
You don't use it, you lose it.
Sure. And so, like, for instance, when I look at the development of my faith, and I apply it to the Word of God, where it says faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God. And so what I find is that just doing work don't necessarily build my faith.
No. Work is not, don't confuse effort
Yeah.
with progress.
Yeah.
Right.
No doubt. And so there has to be active listening so that I can hear, and then I'll apply it or what have you. Because again, when you base your understanding of a thing on false information, on bad knowledge or bad intake, we have this saying, garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
And so you have to put the right things in to nourish that growth of that belief system that's in you, because beliefs can grow into faith. And I think that it's almost like a prerequisite at times or what have you, but it's a precursor to the faith or what have you, because again, you're building this body of evidence as you go along to sustain the belief that you have, that becomes the faith and the faithfulness that you exhibit in the thing or the person that you are aspiring to emulate.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely. And as platinum hitters too, it's like, we always want to be increasing our faith, but the main question I had for you was to like imagine if you are just the only person in your circle or in your environment who has a platinum mindset. You've been listening to the podcast, and now it's like, okay, I believe in myself. I have faith that I can be a better version of myself, and I want to go across and pursue that. But you're constantly having to defend yourself because of the environment that you're in. What would you kind of say to that person, or what do you think some of the main struggles would be for a person who is new to the concept of expanding yourself and personal development and personal growth in these areas?
Right. Well, I believe that individuals who stay in, because that's then you're in a rut. You're in an emotional rut, a financial rut, or a relationship rut. And so those ruts are sometimes hard to get out of. But for the individual that separates himself or herself from what is normal in their circle, people see that they're different. And even again, if we bring this back to a biblical context or what have you, a spiritual context, we have to intentionally be different than those around us. And that causes us to stand out, because even that there's a scripture that states, come out from among them and be ye separate, because we stand out like a light up on a hill, so to speak. Because as a platinum hitter, you also have a platinum mindset, and that's automatically going to give you a different framework for the environment that you're in, because you're always looking for, how can I better this situation? How can I better my conditions? How can I better my community? Because you're in a growth mindset continuously, looking for those things and those opportunities. And so those are individuals who are around you. The more they become exposed to the platinum way, then some of them will gravitate towards it. Because we also have to become aware that not everyone we know is meant to go on our journey with us in the season that we're going on it. And so there may be a time when you have to go and carve out your success, and then come back and get those that were behind, because they have to see you being successful. Because oftentimes in environments where there is this sense of sameness, so to speak, and when an individual began to elevate, sometimes the people in that circle, oh, you think you've made it now, or you think you're it.
What is that though? Because like even when I got out of the military and I started my own personal kind of growth and development, I remember, I'm not going to bust anybody out, but I remember just being at my house, at my parents' house, and sitting in a chair. And now I probably had a whole vibe going on. I probably had a lamp on, and my feet kicked up or something like that with some tea or something. But I was reading a book.
Right.
And that was probably something that this person had not really seen me do, probably in a long time. But this person, and it was family, and they came by and they were just like, who do you think you are? And it was an innocent question.
Sure.
But I could tell it was like about me reading a book, and sitting in a chair reading a book. Who do you think you are?
Right.
I didn't really have an answer at the time. I didn't really know.
Right.
But what is it about the environment that where it's like even your friends and your family, people that are really close to you, can try and prevent you from changing, even if it's for the better.
Right. Well, comfort zones. And so many of us are comfortable where we are. And when we don't have a vision for what greater looks like, we become familiar with what we have to the point where we can't see beyond what's in front of us.
That's key right there.
And so one of the components of that, I believe, is that the people we know are basing their understanding of where we are based on where we were, because they're carrying history, and they are carrying the misconception that you're only doing what you're doing because you're different from us, or they see themselves as being different from you, so to speak. And so it's kind of like when you want to start a business, and your family have known you to be this individual that have started businesses like every 2 years, like you start a new business, whether it's a network marketing, this and that, and you're trying all of these new things. And so they say, oh, okay, here come Dietrich now with another old lame idea. And so they say, okay, dude, why are you doing all of these different businesses? You're not going to be successful. So they're basing it on past experiences and past history. And it could be a multi-million-dollar idea. But because they're basing their current perception on what was past, they can't see that future thing. Now you can have that very same conversation with someone who is not in your inner circle, and they see the potential in what you're saying. Oh yes, let's go make that money. And so because they're not basing their decision on your past experiences or your past failure, so to speak. And so because they have in their minds seen you fail in the past, their expectation is that you're going to fail at this. That new person don't have that history. They don't have that baggage. And therefore you can go off and now make it. And they had an opportunity to make it with you.
That's so true. And that's kind of like what we were talking about the last time. And it ties into what we're talking about now with change and development and being a platinum hitter and being the person that is proactive about the change and not just reactive to change. Like what I hear you saying is that you've been had the platinum mindset more or less. By the fact that maybe you've tried 4 or 5 different businesses, you're not afraid of the ambiguity. 400 or 500 businesses, you're not afraid of the ambiguity. You're not afraid of failure, so to say, but that willingness to step out into the unknown, to try something different, to try something new, to branch out. That is the platinum mindset in a small piece of it. To go forward and to develop. And then we tie that back into fitness. Like I'm thinking at a certain level, when you do the same workouts over and over and over, right? Your body gets used to that workout. And it hits a thing called plateau, where it starts to level off and you stop seeing the same gains that you used to see. And so you have to switch up your workout every now and then. You have to switch up the routine because the body is so used to it. So when you shock the system with a new routine, then you start to see that growth and development take place again. And that's the only way to continue the growth is to do something new.
Exactly. And so, to kind of piggyback on one of those pieces that you said, I believe that it is fundamental to a platinum hitter, is that when we use words that enhance our ability to move beyond an obstacle. And so, and what I mean by that, I'll paraphrase a quote by Thomas Edison, and he made this statement: I have not failed, but I've only found hundreds of ways things don't work. And so when we're able to reframe what we call as a failure as a way something doesn't work, then we don't have the negative connotation of what society deems as a what quote unquote failure. Because some of the biggest failures in our lifetime have become multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar ideas. Look at all of the things created by 3M and G and some car and all of these electronics. They have started out making something else, but they couldn't achieve that particular thing, but something else came out of it as a result of the innovation that went into it. And so don't discount what other people perceive as a failure in your life. You look at it as a way in which that particular thing did not work. And now you elevate your thinking to think beyond what didn't work to what can work.
A lot of times we'll just overcorrect and cancel it. Overcorrect and just cancel it on ourselves. A lot of times we give up on ourselves before it's really time to give up on the idea. Necessarily.
Exactly. And the other piece of that, I believe, is understanding that as we are looking for opportunity is looking for us. And so at what point what we're looking for finds us and we converge. Are you prepared for that convergence? And so for platinum hitters, we have to have a platinum experience with our opportunities. And so when the opportunity comes, how are we preparing to receive it? And do we have a big enough bucket to hold it?
Man, faith is a position of expectation.
Yes.
You got to be prepared for what you're expecting.
Yes.
Be prepared for the growth.
Yes.
Be prepared to receive the thing that you're looking for. Because you can find yourself out of position.
Exactly.
If you're asking for something, but you're not in a position to receive it.
Huh. And that's a great analogy or what have you for looking at being out of position. I'll give it to you in this fashion. Um, let's say that you are standing in the middle of or you're standing on a roadway or beside, on the side of a road, and a car passes you by and it almost hits you.
Hmm.
And you would say, man, they almost hit me. And so sometimes your opportunities are that same way. You are close enough to it where it almost hits you, but it goes right past you because you're not in position. And so as a platinum hitter, developing a platinum mindset, we want to give you the ability to, or help you frame the ability to get in the way of your opportunities. And when you get in the way of it, it has no option and no opportunity to go around you. It has to hit you. It has to hit you full frontal. And so when you receive it, you just bear hug. You bear hug your experience and you embrace the opportunity. And when you embrace the opportunity, it becomes part of you. And you begin to have, again, a platinum experience like no other. And so when you encounter me and I encounter you, there has to be change that takes place in that moment. Because if it doesn't, I haven't brought my platinum self to the meeting. And so every place I go, I'm bringing the platinum way. I'm living the platinum way. I'm having a platinum experience along with you. Because the elevation of platinum is not just about me, the individual. It's about us, the collective.
It's about everybody.
Yes.
Man. As you were talking about being in the way of your opportunities, I got the visual of Superman stopping a train.
Yes.
He stands on those tracks, hands on his hips.
Yes.
And he's staring down the tracks. He's looking at the train coming.
Right.
Train is coming, and he just, bears down.
You're not going to get past me.
Nope.
Exactly. And that's what we have to learn to say to our future. I'm not going to let my future pass me by. I'm not going to let my greatness pass me by. I'm not going to let that platinum relationship pass me by. I'm going to get in the way of it so that it has no choice but to get to me. And so it's like, there was this quote or this adage or what have you, someone was saying about a woman looking for a husband. And she made the statement that you will have to get so deep into God to see me. And so for the right man, looking for that right woman, to develop that platinum relationship, he has to be so deep into God. Because if he's not deep into God, he'll never see her. And so we have to find those moments that we need to be deeply ingrained or rooted in something that gives us the ability to see that platinum future.
See that opportunity.
Yes.
Got to see it coming. Just like you were saying about the vision too.
Yes.
A lot of people not going to vibe with you because they can't see the vision that you have. And they can't imagine anything other than what they've seen.
Yes.
But that's the whole idea behind faith, is that you don't live by what you see. You don't live by what you know. You walk by faith and not by sight.
Sure.
Right? You walk by the evidence that you have within yourself. And sometimes it's just me. Sometimes I'm the only evidence I got.
Right.
It's the fact that I'm here and the fact that I think this could work.
Right.
I think this is true. So that's good enough for me, and I'm rolling with that.
And let me ask you this. You've been with me now for a while. To you, what does it mean for you to be a platinum hitter or to identify as a platinum hitter?
That in every area of my life, I know what to do, but don't necessarily do that thing that I know to do. Or if I'm doing it, I'm not doing it as well as I could do it. And there are certain things that I can do with the things that I'm doing that would make it better. So to me, being a platinum hitter is not just doing the thing. It's not just, like I say, it's not just practice, right? It's not just I go to the gym and I shoot 100 shots. No, I go to the gym and I make 100 shots. Yes. I might shoot 500 or 700, but I'm going to make 100.
Yes.
Right? It's perfect practice. It's not just practice. It's being intentional about using my time so that I'm not just beating around the bush. I think about it like a volcano or a hurricane or some kind of any kind of natural storm or natural disaster. It's just energy. It's just energy. But the fact is that energy is damaging the things around it because it's not controlled.
Yes.
If you could capture the energy of a volcano or of a thunderstorm or of a tsunami and channel that energy to power a wind turbine or power an electrical plant, you can use it for constructive purposes, but otherwise it's just wasted energy.
Sure.
Not in terms of, the globe, but
Mm.
in your life, you
Right.
have a storm or whatnot, and if you don't use that energy and channel it into something creative, then it's lost. And to me, being platinum is using every opportunity for my goals, the things
Yes.
that I believe, the achievements that I'm going for, is to not have anything be wasted.
Mm.
Like you said, is to turn those things that you might even see as a failure, and no, it's not a failure. It's just one way to not succeed in the thing that I was trying to do.
Right.
Now, if I was trying to do something else, I could succeed through that route,
Yes.
but not in the thing that I'm trying to do.
Mhm.
Right? So that's not really a failure. That's just another way it doesn't work.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. And so when we have platinum frames for the things that we want and want to do, want to accomplish in our lives or what have you, that platinum frame gives us the ability to see it in its uniqueness, but how it relates to us in what we are trying to accomplish. And so my platinum framework tells me that I am my greatest resource. And when I have platinum conversation, the very first platinum conversation I must have in order for me to become successful is with myself.
Mm.
Because my self-talk will help to shape what I involve myself in, what success I receive, and how I move through the atmosphere, so to speak. And so when I make a platinum impact on humanity, humanity grows and expands in ways that are exponential in terms of all the other people, because now everyone has a piece of platinum. Everyone has a slice of platinum. Everyone has been exposed to a little bit of platinum by all of those who are coming together and converging on the platinum way.
And that's sometimes all it takes is for someone to see it,
Mhm.
There's a story in the Bible about somebody who, I think it was Elijah and Elisha.
Mhm.
I think Elisha became what's it called when you train under somebody?
Right, the apprentice. He was the
The
apprentice.
apprentice, right? He was in the field, I believe, working the field, pushing the with the oxes,
Right.
right? And he saw the prophet walk by,
Mhm.
and that's all he saw was the prophet walk by.
Right.
Went put the plow down,
Mhm.
let the oxes go. I think he burnt the plow, but
Right. Mhm.
and then he went and followed after the prophet. But all it took was the prophet to walk by. Now, if the prophet had never believed in himself that he was the prophet or that he could do things that a prophet could do, he never would have started walking in the
Right.
first place.
Sure.
And there would have been nothing for Elisha to see to
Hmm.
say, "Oh, I can do that too," or "Oh, I want to achieve that too.
Mhm.
I want to be like him,"
Mhm.
and put down his plow and go follow after the prophet.
Right, right. And so my question becomes for all of those who are becoming platinum hitters, who are you going to walk past that desire to want to walk along with you,
Mm.
to walk your journey and to learn from you? Because being that individual that has a platinum mindset, platinum hitters take on a responsibility to bring others along. The journeys that we are on as platinum hitters is not just about us. It's about those we impact as well. And so when I grow as a platinum hitter, my community is growing. My circle is growing. My influence is growing for the greater good and not just my good.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because like you said, if I am not the best version of myself, how can I call others to be the best version of themselves?
Exactly.
I have to be the platinum first.
Mhm.
Iron sharpens iron. Iron don't sharpen wood. If I'm only swinging wood,
Right.
and you can't get sharp off of that.
Exactly.
Wood don't sharpen wood neither. It'll chip up
Right. Or burn up.
or burn up.
It'll catch fire.
It'll catch fire.
Yes,
So
indeed.
so it's that iron. It's being platinum that will make others platinum. And so it's holding yourself to that standard.
Definitely.
Definitely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, sir. It's always it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Without a doubt. And one of the things I would like to do with every podcast is to encourage every single listener to make it platinum.
Make it platinum.
And when you make it platinum, you're making a commitment to being your very best. As we say in the Platinum Cafe, being the best is not just who we are, it's what we do.
It's what we do.
Chime in. Touch base. www.platinumhitter.com.
Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new.
Yep.